All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This is the first Fast Forward podcast. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Anthony.
I'm Jeff, DJ Recognize. We have music from Johnny Vinyl for today's show. Hope you guys like that too.
All right. You describe yourself simply as a raver on your DJ profile. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's easy to just write the word raver, being a little bit lazy, but yeah, being a raver is, to me means turn of the century, year 2099, when a lot of these raves were going on. I was in high school or a little before that, and really trying to figure out who I was, and so for me, raves were like an escape during school with friends, a place that you can kind of meet new people and stuff. And rave culture was something that was big for a few years around that time, and so I feel like that really shaped me who I am.
So I'm guessing when you were doing this raving stuff and the appeal to it would probably also come from you were not at the age where you can actually go out and possibly go out to these clubs. And
yeah, I mean, I was probably 16, I want to say,
Exactly.
My first rave I went to, and then 17 I did a lot of raving. I mean, nobody ID'd at the door, asked me if I was 21 or not. A lot of kids my age went, older kids went. It was just a place you can get away, and place where everyone was having fun and dancing.
Totally.
And if you discover that, if one of your friends discover that, you just want to keep going.
Nice, excellent. So why'd you get into rave? I mean, why'd you get into them? I know we've been discussing that, but why did you get? What was the appeal? What was the original appeal of you getting into it?
Probably some friend of mine convinced me. In high school you go to parties or house parties, people or something, and then maybe one friend was like, oh, but this is a whole show, and then, you go to rock concerts and stuff, and this was like a rock concert at first, and I guess I got into it because other people I knew were into it, and then I just kind of enjoyed the fact that people left to dance there and stuff, and really all kinds of people went to raves.
Yeah,
and you
totally.
would see everyone there, and they would just shamelessly be joyous together, and it was this thing that you couldn't find growing up, in your high school kid or middle school kid. It's hard to find that positive social energy, so it's almost related. It's also related to me just growing up.
Yeah,
and that
totally.
was my first experience with socializing on that level.
Cool, nice. So let's see, how'd you get involved with dancing, and what does just dancing mean to you in general?
I mean, when I first started dancing and going to parties, I realized how enjoyable of a feeling it is. It was a physical thing that I got so much out of. First of all, it'd be healthy because you're always moving, and it'd be a fun thing to keep kind of you entertained. You go somewhere to do something. As a kid, it's hard to socialize sometimes, and so you just need an activity that kind of keeps you at bay, and the dancing thing was that activity for me. And not only was a thing that would let me kind of be at calm and at peace, it was a thing that everyone could enjoy together, simultaneously, and so I told myself when I saw it, I want to do this, and I said I want to be like these break dancers that I was watching do this. I want to have as much fun as they're having because this is something special. And I pursued that and just kept going. When I'd go out, I would try to dance a little bit better every time.
Very nice. Yeah, I totally relate with that. I grew up with a very similar kind of background. Just really wanting to just dance. This guy, he's been DJing, he's a few years older than me, so
yeah.
When I was in second grade, I was already dancing, so I totally understand that
already
joy
by second
and
grade.
that super good feeling of just people coming together, that something clicked
Right.
at an early age, and
you can't always find that in school or
Yeah.
in front of you. You have to kind of
totally.
seek it a little bit.
Totally.
Find it, somewhere else.
Totally. That's sick. I know.
No, that's cool. You have that experience also.
So I'm guessing the dancing, you're the dancing, someone has to be spinning for someone to be dancing usually.
Yeah.
So that probably led you into spinning, or what got you into spinning?
Yeah, actually it did. Going out to these parties, to these raves, basically you saw what was going on. It was just these people throwing parties, playing music, and all these people coming to dance to it. You just ask yourself, what is that about? How can I be a part of that? Who are these people? Are they just, you know, and you just notice these DJs are the ones doing all this, playing the music for people. And I just felt like that would be cool, something to do. And I talked a lot about it with my friends, and like my mom, you know, she as a gift, you know, teenager, I don't have a lot of money and stuff. She bought me a set, and it's like the most amazing gift I ever had. It was Techniques turntables,
Wow.
like these two.
That
over
is
here.
quite the gift.
And it was a Rain 52
Yeah,
mixer, and no coffin, so we just kind of lugged it around. And
You got
we
you got
had,
all
like,
the expensive stuff. You're like, but the last little bit, you can get a job for that, Jeff. You
my
can get that on
friend,
your
my
own.
couple friends that I did this with, he had this purple van, and like we'd put it all in the back seat, and someone would be back, like maybe even on the floor holding them together. But sometimes he'd like pull a quick Louie, and it would just
shit.
smash.
Ooh.
So, and it didn't, you know, but I made that equipment last for a couple of years at least.
Cool.
And so we got that. I practiced that at home. I practiced with my friend Mike Sakayan, who not really around with anymore, and Todd Osterhut, who I did see this year actually. Thank you, Todd, for that lovely venue. And I just kind of grown up with them, and you know, that's what it was. That's what it was.
And my next question I was gonna ask you is like, how do you, or like what made you realize that this is something you wanted to do? But you did express that in the last question.
Right.
Kind of like.
Yeah. So, you know, I realized that I was good at it early on. The dancing and the spinning have a similarity that's like has to do with the rhythm and sort of being able to pace two things together. And so, like, you know, dancing, I've been dancing for like so long, it's almost like I'm practicing that skill of matching things up. It's just constantly, because when you're dancing, you also have to match it up. You know,
I hear that in your music a lot too. How you emulate your lyrics with the sound. That's
Yeah.
something that's unique with your sound.
Yeah, my lyrics, I try to keep them on beat. The matching of the beat is really important. You know, it's something that I think all the dancing that I've done in my life has just improved it, even though I wasn't spinning for so long.
It's like you were subconsciously practicing for the DJing as you were like
Keeping pace.
doing
And
those
when
half
you're
spins on
dancing,
the
you do
ground.
have to keep pace, of course, and it's a very physical pace. It's almost like mechanical, like a turntable in a way. A turntable has a jog wheel and you know, the pitch. When you're dancing, there's mechanics to it. Your feet have to move a certain way. You have to do that. So there's definitely another system that you try to kind of balance and pace. So, you know, maybe there's some relation there. I don't know.
So what was it like spinning like your first big party then?
Yeah, so I was friends with a bunch of my Russian friends in SF. I grew up with. I kind of went to high school out there for a year when I was 15. And so I was doing this around 2000, 2001. They wanted to, I think it was 2001, could have been 2002. They wanted to celebrate the New Year's. They knew I was like DJing back then, spinning records. And my friend invited me to like a place they rented out for like 200 people, all these Russians. On
Sounds rowdy.
Mission and like I want to say like
wow, in the
20
city,
something.
man.
No,
Nice.
maybe it was in the teens, somewhere in Mission, off the side, and it was like a little place, and it was me and a bunch of other DJs and stuff. And but they chose me to be the New Year's DJ, you know, and I had to pick a song
That's
for
huge.
the New Year's
Nice.
drop and stuff.
How old are you then?
I was 18, or
Yeah, that must have
18
been
or something like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
that must have been great.
I don't know, something.
I can
like
remember
that.
those super.
And so
Fun
yeah,
memory,
it's up 18, 19, I don't know, 18 maybe. And I picked a song that actually like sped up, and it dropped, and it like played with the audience for like 2 seconds. There was no noise, and when I did it like a few seconds after they did the announcement on New Year's, everyone like thought I dropped it, and it like the song came back and shit. And it went
Oh,
up.
honey.
I still have the
Yeah.
record. I might have played it a couple of weeks ago here.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna put
Yeah.
it on again. It's I still have it. It's not one of the records that I got threw away.
Should do
for
like
sure.
a remake.
But what was that party like? It was really fun. It was a lot stressful than I thought it'd be, because
A lot more stressful.
you got to worry about more than just having fun, because there's other people and stuff. And the more people, it's like, you know, you got to address it kind of more seriously. So it was a bit of a learning lesson, but some people really liked my shit, and that's all you can ask for sometimes. Everyone got hammered. It was New Year's Eve, so I don't know if it was because of me, because everyone was having fun. It's New Year's Eve, so it was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. You know, turntables, it's not always easy. You know, turntables is very raw kind of talent. You have
Yeah,
to have.
totally.
you really got to practice a lot. And you know, I think I did okay at that party.
So how'd you get into like making tracks?
So around the same time, this was actually before I got my turntables. I figured out that it's way easier instead of waiting to get like a turntable set.
So
Instead of waiting to get a turntable set, it's a little bit easier to just download some software and make music yourself. And I started exploring that. And back then, it was the most fanciest shit was like Fruity Loops.
yeah, I remember that.
But I like the programs. I remember I was a little younger, so it's a little bit harder to understand shit. I like the programs that were like more like a synthesizer, more visual. So you could yeah. Can you turn it down just a little?
Yeah.
Just down just a little more.
Turn it down.
Thank you. Yeah, just a little.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. That's a good volume right there. Thank you. Yeah, so those are the programs that I enjoyed a lot because they were just a little bit simpler. And so I used a program called like Rubber Duck. And Rubber Duck was really easy. It was like 16 little squares, or the pattern was 16 beats. And they would like run through it and light up. And it had like these resonator things and delay controls and like all the same stuff on the mixer, but way crazier stuff on there. It was easy, and I made some tracks. I was in high school. I was in Monte Vista for like two and a half years, and I transferred to Cal High for like half a year. And during my time with Cal High, when I was playing with those crazy kids, I made some music, and I kind of released it. I actually mixed one of my tracks into a set I made a couple weeks ago. At the very end, it's just the sounds are so different. Like today's tracks are so much more advanced and beautifully polished. When I was a kid
Yeah,
back
totally.
then,
When you look
you
back
could tell
to
the
some
difference.
stuff, when you look back to some
technological
yeah.
level is not
Yeah.
the same.
I mean, you listen to some some 90s tracks and stuff, and like you definitely can hear how raw it was. Like I don't know if you remember "Ooh Sally," that girl. I mean, you can literally hear like some singing.
How they
you can hear the
progressed.
vocals. And
And they
super
use
raw.
better instruments and the 808.
Like,
and
now it's like super smooth. Everything's really clean and stuff.
and
so
you're
I
always
totally
gonna
get it.
have that progression, but I feel like for teenager, I think I came out with some cool shit that's whatever today, but you can always remix it, so I'm not worried.
So what about the rapping and how'd you get into the singing and all that?
Yeah, so rapping around the same time, some of the kids I hung out with, they like to freestyle a lot. Maybe too much. Sometimes they would do it. People like to tell them to stop, but they would still do it. Get together. Something for teenagers that's fun to do. Don't have to think that much. You just speak and try to flow. And I met some kids that were doing that. Some of our friends, again, Mike and Todd, were into that a little bit. We met some guy from Stockton who was really good at it, and he gave me some tips. Basically, he was saying just constantly practice every day. Just keep rhyming. Whatever you're in the shower, keep rhyming, and you just keep doing it, and you just automatically become good. And I did that a lot, and I wrote a lot of poetry. I was actually on some ciphers, which is basically an online forum where you post stuff, and I saved like, I want to say maybe 200 little poems. Each poem is like a couple paragraphs or something like that I've been kind of looking through for ideas for content and stuff like that. I mean, I still have that. So that's how I got into it, and I've been doing it, and since then it's, life is life, but you still sort of freestyle a little bit with friends here or there. But now that I'm kind of doing some more stuff with it, it's a really cool thing to have done, and I definitely want to pursue it more and explore how I can get better.
Cool, right on. Makes sense. So, what was it like throwing your first rave, the Blur Evolution?
Yeah, so that was when I was at Cal High. Basically, we had some friends, like a couple DJs a little bit older or whatever, but me and a man named Leo Berkatov, who's now, I guess, a good psytrance DJ and does a bunch of events and stuff. And this kid Navneet and some other people, we tried to come together and throw a rave. This is like, I think I just became a senior at the time. We just wanted to do cool stuff, senior in high school. And best thing we can come up with for a Renegade was like a place that was near like, it was near where all of like the battleships are, the battleship in SF. There's a place where there's some ships outside. It was like that warehousey area, like
Yeah, I know that
towards
area,
3rd
totally.
Street, maybe not exactly Hunters Point, but towards that area. And we try to throw it there. We got some DJs were kind of interested. We were spinning and stuff there, and it worked for like an hour. We didn't underestimate how cold and windy it got on that day, and it was a little difficult. And so after an hour, we kind of chose to shut it down. But for a bunch of kids, and I don't even remember, with our van or whatever, bringing some speakers out there. We made some flyers. That's what we figured out back in the day, that you can print these flyers so easily. Like $20 to get you a bunch of flyers, just give them a little picture, and boom, it's like you're throwing a party. When you're going to these raves, you're just like, you think it's so easy until you try it, and then you're like, oh man. But it was kind of fun. I'll say it was a fun experience. I'll put it that way.
All right, so let's see here. Let's see. So how did you return to spinning in 2017? How did you come to that?
Well, a lot of that you're looking behind you is DJ Johnny Vinyl over here. But I think what really started it back up is a friend of a friend was this man Zul Afirin that I knew at the time, and I was moving out of a relationship and stuff, and he offered to let me rent out a place in his house, and he was a DJ. He still is a DJ. He's still doing it. And that environment with people coming back and forth and partying and having the decks right there was really cool. And kind of jumped on his decks, and he said, "Let me try it out." And I mean, actually, a year before that, I bought a B-52 Prodigy, I think it was called, or something like that, and it didn't really work for me, and I sold it because I was busy. But this time, I was on real CDJs, and the skill is the same. I mean, the turntables have two things that you worry about: the pitch control and the jog wheel. The CDJs got the same exact thing. It's just a few other things you get used to. And so I was spinning his CDs. I was spinning some stuff that I was playing, psytrance, and the psytrance is easy to spin because it's faster. It's at least 140 BPMs or faster, probably faster. And it's not as it's more repetitive, so it's a little bit easier to kind of
Just
get familiar with the beats. And that's how I kind of get back into it. And then a year later, I went to a party with you guys, and I actually met you guys the year before. But during that party, me and Juan had this conversation about getting back into DJing, and I think he said he had a setup. So I was like, "Let me try it out. Let me come over." And
that's when you started coming over.
Started coming over, and this is it. This is the place we're literally standing right here, sitting right here, where it started back up, and just kind of. From there, it took on a bigger part of my life.
That's pretty cool. I'm really happy that you came through. It brought you around, and we got to hang out more and start this all up. So, so what was it like spinning at the hub in Redwood City then?
Man, amazing experience. I mean, it was since the old days. It was like the first time that I got to be out somewhere in a public place, a public venue, where other people would come in and kind of see me and what I was doing, and just open-mindedly. Sometimes they're drinking, sometimes not so open-mindedly, but it was just nice. And Alan from the Hub really made that happen. He's the guy that owns it, and it's a lounge in Redwood City, basically. That's really nice, very nice place. And he was just looking. His thing was just experimenting with EDM DJs. He did a karaoke thing, a different night at the Hub. And he had a night open. He thought he would extend it to something else. And he himself, I think, has a background in like this kind of like house music or something like that. So he enjoys this kind of stuff. And through Juan, he gave Juan a chance to play there for a while. Juan is kicking ass at his club, and eventually Juan told Alan about me, and I came in there. And since then, I just really took it to another level, because I kind of have to when you're performing in front of people that come off the street and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
And, that's kind of how I got back into that.
That was super sweet. Just walking in, you guys are actually spinning at a club.
Yeah, definitely
pretty
a lot of fun for sure.
So, how do you feel about the shutdowns of all the indoor public music venues?
Yeah.
Like, how do you keep yourself involved with the?
Yeah, so a bunch of months,
all that.
we were doing the thing at the Hub, and I remember taking a video or live video even and putting it on Facebook, and then remembering a week later, wow, that's the last time I'm gonna get to do that for a while. to play at a
no
club
shit.
and spin
Yeah.
in front of people that you don't know, coming into a nice establishment, you know. It was surreal. I don't like, from the music industry's point of view, it's almost like a chokehold that you have to get out of somehow. And so I felt it, and I chose to kind of try to find ways to try to get out of that chokehold, try to keep the dancing going, try to keep the positive energy going. Like, people still want to do all this, you know, and
Yeah,
we just
no
have to
shit.
find the right way to do it that's safe for everyone and that makes sense in the times that we live in. But you know, it's something that you know, we can't take for granted. The way the times were is something that we need to redo again. We need to make that happen again, and you know, do whatever we have to do to make that happen. You know?
Yeah, no shit. So with that, like, how did you keep yourself involved with DJing when it all happened? How did you keep it?
I mean,
how'd you keep it going?
right,
How'd you
right.
basically respond and work it all out?
Yeah, I mean,
Some people have just like secluded themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, good friends. I mean, I came over here. We practiced a lot over here, trying to figure out what to do, play the music here. Actually, it gave me a lot of time to find a lot of new tracks and start recording a lot of the sets that I put out already. You know, since the shutdown, I think I recorded like 10 sets, just 11 now, counting the one today. And I think if things were a little bit more active, I probably wouldn't have as much time to myself to kind of put these things together. You know, so. But you know, to keep yourself busy, you do that kind of stuff. You play, and then you just try to throw kind of events. You try to figure out any way you can to keep this going.
Yeah.
What
totally.
that turned into is outdoor events. The things that you can do that's legal, where you can do it like in a small scale, away from civilization. That's the only way you can do it now.
Yeah, it seems like the cities are finally not the epicenter for the DJing world. It seems
I mean,
like people are running off to the forest these days, and
people
and
are running
doing
off
their
to the
own-
forest, you know.
doing their own little.
Oh, what's up,
thing.
Maxwell Douglas? You Goldstein. Hello. So you guys, we're just looking at. I see some chat names pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, running
So-
off to the forest. I mean, that's literally what a lot of people are doing. They're escaping civilization, I think.
Yeah.
Being off the grid is just looking great right now. Anyway, you know,
Cool.
I don't want to
Yeah,
digress.
we can keep going and going down that hole.
Yeah.
So, let's see. So, what is fast forward? Any meaning behind the name fast forward?
Fast forward.
It's interesting because I'm gonna ask
Yeah,
you a question.
yeah.
I'm gonna interrupt and butt in. I actually was really I use that term a lot. Super young, and it was kind of funny when you came up with it. And you're like
Fast forward. Okay.
And I was like, whoa, that was kind of my thing. So that's kind of weird how it kind of came
Nice.
together.
It's it can be all of our things. I mean, what does fast forward mean? It's you know, me and your brother were just hanging out here one day, and we were like, we want to do some kind of crew where we're all kind of working together and stuff, and put a name behind it. I think at the time, you know, I'm a JavaScript guy, so I had this hat from a JavaScript conference, Forward.js, and it was like this kind of fast-forwarded symbol. And I just said it out loud, and like I think Juan liked it, and we thought about it, and we thought about the little metaphors behind it,
Yeah.
and it's like, to connect to what we were saying before, the way I see fast forward, what it could mean, because it doesn't have to always mean this, but it could mean this right now because of what's happening, is maybe something that helps people fast forward through the craziness, through these kind of times, and helps them get through this with some good music and enjoying life. You know, maybe it could mean that, but it can mean whatever you want it to mean. You know, it's just a good. It was a catchy phrase name thing, and we kind of stuck with it.
So tell us more about the houseboat parties. What are those all
Yeah,
about?
I mean, that's something
How do they go down?
that's great. I mean, thank you for coming this year.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was so much
It's something
fun.
that we did last year. You know, 2019 is this was before COVID and stuff. We were just as DJs looking for somewhere where we can play, where people can hear us, where we can just showcase what we can do and have other people have fun with it. And it was a great way. I mean, who doesn't want to go on a houseboat? And we tried it last year for 4th of July. It was really fun. Everyone enjoyed it. We found like other houseboats. We tied them together and like we did this. It was like a 4 houseboat party at night. It was a really beautiful thing. And this year we did it again, a little bit bigger. You know, it's great. It's amazing. It's like being able to DJ, but kind of wherever you want, kind of you know, you go to this little shore over here and stuff. It's like a mobile thing.
Totally.
It's something I want to do every year for sure.
All right, so tell us about the Fast Forward outdoor event Toadstock this summer.
Yeah, so Toadstock, and again, thank you very much to my friend Todd and Jasmine for helping with this. They have a beautiful place up north. I started calling everyone I know, asking them, where can we play, where can we DJ, where can we make some noise, where can we have people dance and have fun and stuff. And some friends warmed up to the idea, some friends didn't. And you know, Todd was one of those friends that was really into it, and he's like, come on up, visit me up there, you know, enjoy it. That's exactly what I did. And on the first night, it basically turned on the speakers pretty loudly, and nobody came, and we realized we had like a little venue there. We can play music, could have a performance, any kind of music you want, have a band from wherever come through there and do it. And we did it again a couple of weeks later. Juan and me came out there, same thing again with more speakers, bigger system this time, and it worked really well. So finally we planned out, like, let's do a whole big event. And we had I called the DJs that I knew, the DJs that I kind of knew, friends of DJs that I knew, and got together about 8 DJs, and they all were like really interested in it. There was no like fees or anything like that. It was just my friend wanting to throw a party at his beautiful place, you know, little estate area. Am I describing it kind of right?
Yeah,
the actual,
totally.
I don't know how to describe the place, but, and people liked it, and so there was about like a good number of people enjoying themselves. They actually brought RVs and kept separate from each other and stuff. It was like everyone naturally, like,
it was nice.
Felt like a natural thing.
Yeah, you
that,
just
like,
be outdoors.
It,
was nice. It was just the right amount of people, and it was a good amount of space, like you said, and it was nice just to kind of be out there and in nature and just wake up and just, you know, just be relaxed, not really have anything to do but listen to music.
What I just want to add about that is just the most amazing thing about it was how much people wanted that.
Yeah.
And I knew that would be the case, but I didn't know to that extent that people wanted to get away and go somewhere, relax, somewhere where you can kind of feel normal again and not worry about the dregs of society a little bit.
Totally, and you do a really good job on bringing everyone together, I must say. That's like the whole talent. I mean, throwing a party is one thing, but I mean, bringing the people together to do it, that's another, so that's pretty good.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
And so what inspires your mixes? And actually there's a question from Maxwell. He said, where did you get your music downloads from?
Zip DJ. Check it out. It's a great site. Not everyone likes it. It's MP3 files. So the files are lower quality, but it's a pretty good, for like $30 a month, if you get the right deal, you can get a ton of music, pretty much. A lot of house music that they have. Check it out. A lot of people use Beatport. Is a pretty nice site. I haven't really done that. I'm sticking kind of to the thing that I know. So,
cool. Right on. So what inspires your mixes?
So lately it's weird. It's been just kind of what falls into place at the time. Honestly, I haven't even really tried to pursue like what I want to do. Like what I mean is, like, I'd collect music, and for some reason all the music I've been collecting seems to be like electro house, for example, like Rings of Saturn, the set I made. And it just happened. Like, these are tracks that are a little more higher energy, and they all seem like spacey, and I just put that together. And so I guess the answer to that is, like, it's weird. It's just been coming together based on what I've been doing. So last weekend I met a bunch of really cool tech house DJs, and it so happens to be the music that I've been looking for the last couple of weeks. Is a bunch of tech house. So I'm like, why not make a tech house set? And that's what I did today. And you know, what I'm noticing is that I'm kind of going through all the different styles, and like, I like that. I don't know what's next. One idea I had, for example, is like getting a bunch of Beatles songs and playing a set like that or something.
Yeah, so that's a genre. What other genres are you interested in spinning?
Yeah, so I think a genre I really like is Future House. Future House is just beautiful, amazing beats, so super polished, so well done, so well produced, just amazing songs, and people really love them. Electro House is really, really nice too. It's pretty hyphy. I like some other stuff I've been kind of exploring. You know, there's tech house. I don't know, like Afro House and stuff I've been looking at lately.
I'm really into the Afro House. That's a cool
Afro
one.
House, yeah.
That's one Emily, Emily, she's spinning that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sounding really
Stuff
nice.
like that. My favorite music style, believe it or not, is actually breakbeats. So I think eventually you will hear a breakbeat set from me, but I have to sort of find the right music site to find those kind of tracks. What is Maxwell saying? Fuck yeah. Sorry to cuss people. Maxwell, yeah, please do. Hit me up when
That's a
you're
pretty good
into
site.
that. When you're got something going, let me know.
All right, so let's see. Are you trying anything new out?
Yeah.
What's fresh? What's happening?
Yeah, I started.
going on?
I got Logic Pro X recently. It's a music software program, and I want to get into making beats. Some of the DJs like CL Martin that I know that played at Toast Stock, he makes his own beats. Eric Tucker's another DJ I know that makes his own beats. It makes you want to do it too. So I'm trying to do that. On the set that I recorded today, I actually put some rap lyrics over it. And so what I did is I took a song, remixed it on Logic Pro, and then it wasn't that difficult to do, and you just kind of record it and line it up and cut it up the right way. So that's something new I'm kind of into right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun playing with all that stuff, especially once you get the whole analog setup and start pressing all the buttons. And
Yeah, and I don't even do that. I'm not into the button pressing anymore. I'm more into like the cutting. I like cutting the sound,
Yeah,
and
totally.
placing them in the right places and stuff like that, making them line up and stuff.
All right, so let's see, we're almost here. Let's see, what's next for the DJ Recognize terms of releasing content?
In terms of releasing content,
what's your content?
So I just put out a mix today. It's called Dreaming of Tech. It's a tech house set. I usually do about 20-25 mixes in a set. This one was probably more like 50 mixes, so it was really, I guess, a technical set. I was trying to make it, so hopefully that's the way it comes off. As far as other content, I have a show I'm going to play at the end of next month. It's Music at Camp Out, but anyway, I'm going to be concentrating on making a special set for that show. But I have a lot of time, so I'm not sure if I'll make a set in between that. I think maybe I'll make a Burning Man set next, because people really enjoyed this set I made called Reflection, and get a lot of positive feedback, and so I want to pursue that. I call that twinkly sounds or mystical sounds, Burning Man sounds, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's basically like trance house trance or something like that, melodic house. It's really great. People really love it. So
I like that stuff.
I think I'm gonna do a release like that next, or so it seems like that's what's happening with the songs I'm picking right now.
And last but not least here, what's last for Fast Forward?
What's last? What's next?
What's next?
I
What's last? What's
don't
next?
know. Johnny Vinyl, what's next for Fast Forward?
Say what's last. Can you predict what would be
What's
last?
last?
What
No,
would
no,
be the
no.
last thing?
Let's talk about what's next,
all
and then
right.
we'll talk about what's last.
All right.
What's next for Fast Forward?
Be on the spot here.
All right. Well, I'll tell you my idea, and maybe you can chime in. Just more parties, and if it's not this year, it's definitely going to be next year.
I heard
We're gonna
some,
do more events. We're gonna get people involed and have fun. Try to find beautiful places where we can play music and
I heard
people
about
enjoy
some
themselves.
cabins and stuff like
There's
that.
definitely cabins and stuff like that.
You can picture yourself.
Right now it's sort of like
Always a nice scenery.
if you want
right?
to come, you can come. There's just everyone is throwing these private parties, so
I'll say Renegade in the Park.
Renegade in the Park is
Coming up
something we
soon.
might want to do. So that would be fun to do. So.
Just everyone, just be cool. Just bring your mask, and we just have a good time.
Yeah, so I just want to say thank you guys once again for being part of this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it and maybe learned something or had some fun or just carried on as you do. Again, I'm Jeff, DJ Recognize.
Anthony.
This is Anthony over here. Did a great job
Johnny
interviewing.
Vinyl.
This is Johnny Vinyl, Juan Pacheco over here. See you guys next
All right,
time.
cool. Peace.